Say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief. We're going to try to keep this one brief, Larson, so let's get into it. What's in the news?
Matt Hardy, his wrestling future is in the news, and he had a new episode of Thoughts from the Throne at like midnight, 12:01 this morning, where he divulged his current status on the market. Transcripts of salient quotes here, courtesy of Cage Side Seats. He says, quote, as of this time, I decided to let my contract with WWE expire.
Yes.
I'm going to be a free agent. And that's not saying I'm not going to return to WWE. I did not want to leave WWE. I love WWE.
Who doesn't?
WWE is my home. John Moxley. WWE has treated me great as an employee for the last 3 years. They've been great to me. They've been great to my family. They've been great to my kids. I have nothing but great things to say about WWE and other people who work there. He says, I don't want to leave WWE because it's my home. The reason I needed to leave WWE is because when it comes to my creative stance and my creative outlook on myself and my career and how I want to go for these last 3 or 4 years, and that I have to spend as an active in-ring competitor, I just think myself and WWE are on different pages.
Yeah, he says, in the last 3 or 4 years that I have as an in-ring competitor is really important to me to cement my legacy, and I want to enter a creative renaissance. Gee whiz, Monday. I am not obviously 25 or 35 years old. I am 45 years old, and I have to be utilized in a certain way, but I still know in my heart, I know I have so much to offer this business. I have so much entertainment left inside this vessel, and I have so much I want to give to each and every one of you. I want to enter a creative renaissance, and I want to have nonstop input on my creative process, and I think that's where WWE and I are on separate pages. But I think right now I need to weigh all my options. I need to see what all's out there, and I need to see what's going to be the perfect environment for Matt Hardy to maximize these next few years of my career and really give me a creative canvas to paint my masterpiece, because that is what I want to do right now. He also mentioned that he would be watching. He just listed off all the wrestling shows, save for he didn't say he'd be watching New Japan. He said all the North American stuff. He said he'd be watching Raw on Monday, Being the Elite on Monday as well. He said he'd be watching on Tuesday, and he's sort of keeping an ear open. It's like, okay, these are all the places that he seems to be open to working for. He did mention watching Impact on Tuesday, along with AEW Dark and NWA, and then he mentioned, of course, Dynamite. And then he mentioned
NXT.
Did he mention NXT? I don't know. I mean, he mentioned Raw. So, I mean, I guess being a free agent, he could theoretically resign with WWE. Yeah, so he mentioned all the big names that are currently available in the North American market, which is cool, man. I'd love to see him show up in, and I hope that he does something like a little tour of places first, a little sampler, if you will. We see him in the NWA.
That'd be fun.
We see him back
to Impact.
Sure, back to Impact.
One night only.
He's also
they did their throwback show already, right?
Did they?
I don't remember. Is that Mania weekend?
I think that's Mania weekend.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
They did their own version of like a South.
Yeah. I was talking about when they just they're rebranding stuff back to TNA for that one show.
What's that thing called? The WWE throwback.
Southpaw. That's coming back too.
Thank you. Yeah, there was like a relatively high production value
great with Fandango. Johnny Curtis.
Yeah, that looked great. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know what the thing that I thought, and this is bad to like bring it to a negative, of course, but when I saw that, I was like, they could be doing stuff this good the entire time. They have the resources, the creative energy they've got.
They're so set in their ways, but how
and instead they've got
produced
one old guy running SmackDown, one old guy running. Well, Raw's pretty good these days. So yeah, I don't know. And then of course, I don't know if this is coordination or if they're just doing this. But around the same time, like AEW.
Oh, that graphic? Yeah.
There is a graphic that
said.
So,
of course, Matt is kind of like one of the leading contenders, if not top contender, to be exalted one.
Sure.
Yeah, AEW had a graphic late yesterday, about 12 hours ago or 13 hours ago, which read, the exalted one is near, but if you look closer, there's some little tiny text hidden along the side of the first letters.
And it says Matt Taven to AEW.
Sitting in a dead tree.
Oh.
What is wood made out of?
Well, what are trees made out of? Trees are made out of wood.
But what are chairs made out of?
What are chairs
wood.
made out of? Well, you just said what is wood made out of, man.
I say chairs. Sorry.
I don't know the chemical breakdown of wood.
Probably it's a carbon-based compound, I'm sure.
Sure.
No, I meant to say what is chairs made out of?
Generally speaking, they can be made out of wood. Yes.
Well, specifically, the chair that Matt Hardy was sitting in during this particular episode of Thoughts from the Throne.
That was a throne, man. It looked like it was made out of wood.
Wood, yes.
Maybe an oak.
And of course, he's been rolling around in a wooden wheelchair.
Sure.
And free the delete.
Yeah.
Sitting in a dead tree.
Yeah.
Could very well be Matt Hardy.
Yeah, could be. He also announced that Zenith, the deity living within Broken Matt Hardy, had expired. So today is a day of mourning for Zenith. And then tomorrow he's going to start his Free the Delete finale thing.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Zenith.
Yeah.
Also James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. That's about 93 years old.
That was something else, man.
I'll be very happy if I lived to 93.
Man.
Maybe I'll be able to upload my consciousness to the cloud if I lived to 93.
Don't get your hopes up.
All right. You know who shouldn't get their hopes up? That tattoo is going to be going away anytime soon on Cody's neck.
Cody.
Brandy, who seems to not like it very much.
Yeah, but first, so we were all wondering what exactly Cody was thinking when he got that giant tattoo of the Nightmare Family logo on his neck.
Had he just seen like the entire run of Sons of Anarchy or something?
But thanks to the power of Instagram, he told everybody that message.
Did Broken Matt Hardy write these notes right here? How stylized they are.
This is just copy and pasting
like
from various
normal
different places.
font, and then it goes down to like 7 font, and then up to 13 font. Bold.
That's just copy and pasting from various places and not making everything the same. This is what Cody had to say about his neck tattoo. Quote, "It was very simple. I wear a lot of brands. I wanted to make sure mine was one of them, and I wasn't hiding it. More details tomorrow on Road to Denver." I guess all things
definitely
considered,
wasn't hiding it.
He could have got it out of his face.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that would have been
like
more.
The skull over. Don't touch your face, everybody. Don't touch your face.
Yeah, there's a lot of nasty stuff going around that right now.
But he could have gotten the Nightmare fan and like the little wings thing coming out here. So he could have. That could have been a bit more. But barring that, this is the next best.
Pretty much
thing.
the most pronounced place he could get it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as you mentioned earlier, it doesn't seem like Brandy's a fan of it. This is what she said in the post-revolution media scrum. Steve, you want to take this one?
Sure. She says, "I'm the one person that doesn't like the neck tattoo.
You're not the one.
Contraire, Brandy.
You're not the one. You're not the only one, Brandy. You're not the only one."
She says, "I don't like it. I've said it." Gee whiz.
It sounds like there's a chicken in the vestibule downstairs.
Oh, my goodness. Where's going in wrong? Sorry, I don't like it. I know a lot of wives like to be really hands-on. My husband makes his own decisions. He's allowed to make his own decisions. So if I decided to do something crazy, he can just let me make my own decisions. Something tells me Brandy, she's a smart gal. I don't think she would ever do something as asinine as that giant real neck tattoo of, let's face it, a fairly underwhelming logo.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What if he had done it back here on the back of his neck?
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
Because you can't see that.
No.
Right? You're looking at me. You can't see it.
Uh-uh.
When I walk away, I'm an a-hole. But when I'm going to apply for a loan at a bank, hey, I need $1 million for this Nightmare Factory
and
thing of mine.
And they say no. And they're like, darn it, should have won a scarf and or turtleneck. Maybe I would have been approved.
Exactly. So yeah, that's fun.
Someone who might be approved to move directly to SmackDown, Killer Kross. This is from Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Of course, we didn't cover the newsletter last week because we already shot everything by the time I think it came out.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what Wrestling Observer himself, Dave Meltzer, had to say about a huge debut maybe on SmackDown. Quote, "There will be a significant debut on SmackDown, which was teased on the show this week with static and a symbol." It's Mustafa Ali's light thing. The best bet seems to be Killer Kross, only because of the word cross was going to be fast track as compared to most signings, and because of the war with AEW, they are not as apt to move key people that have been established on NXT TV. Am I wrong in thinking that the Circle of Lights thing is the same exact Circle of Lights Mustafa Ali has on his hand, more or less?
No, I think you're probably right about that. There's repackaging Mustafa Ali. That's the safe bet.
And then all the stuff on NXT with the clock and the Doomsday stuff.
Oh, I never did go back to look at that.
Matches up with all the stuff that Killer Kross is posting on Twitter.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick. This is a really stupid, nerdy thing, but the number of lights, have you actually counted the ones on Mustafa Ali Singh's versus the thing on SmackDown? Okay.
I have not.
I mean, I'm not saying that's like, I don't know. I feel like that would give us a definitive answer.
Perhaps.
But I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, Dave, this doesn't seem to be like Dave's people are telling him this. This is he's saying it's a safe bet because we had heard that he was going to be
Yeah.
offered a main roster spot. I hope it is Killer Kross on SmackDown, just because I think that'd be a good little shakeup for SmackDown right there. And then let's not forget that, like, Scarlett Bordeaux, I don't know. I think she has the potential to be a bigger star than Killer Kross does.
At least on
I
par.
think, yeah, totally.
Oh, so it's just a circle of light, see?
Oh, I thought, man, that's crazy. I thought it was a whole thing. Yeah, all right.
I mean, it's still pretty damn impressive nonetheless.
It looks cool regardless.
Anyways, it's circle of light, and we see circle of light, I think Mustafa Ali.
I just don't know where the envelope comes from.
No, the envelope wasn't on this week. There was no envelope.
Yeah, but the week prior there was an envelope.
Yeah, no, I don't get that either.
Yeah, no.
But why would Killer Kross, like, is Killer Kross a mailman now?
Bruce Pritchard's like, listen, there's this thing called AOL. It's captured the zeitgeist. Anyways, you know who thinks WWE hasn't captured the zeitgeist is CM Punk. Old Phil Brooks was on Kevin in the Morning with Allie and Jensen.
There's a lot of names there in one show, in the title of a show.
So Kevin in the Morning, but then Allie and Jensen are there.
Yeah.
Is Kevin there too? Anyways.
What's Kevin in the Morning?
He's there to promote his upcoming horror movie.
What's that show called where all the characters were in the dude's head? Something's head. Howard's head.
Herman's head.
Herman's head.
I think it's Herman's
Maybe it's
head.
like that. It's the show takes place in Kevin's head, and the host
Lisa,
inside
yeah,
Kevin's head
okay.
are Allie and Jensen.
Is Lisa Simpson one of them? Because she was in Herman's head.
Wasn't-
And
Hank Azaria
Hank
was in there
Azaria
as
was
well,
in
yeah.
it too, yeah. Anyways, so he hasn't. Is this another upcoming
No,
horror
it's a
movie?
Girl on the third floor, same one.
Oh, is it like a digital release or something?
I don't know what it is.
Netflix or something?
I don't know.
Anyways, he was asked his thoughts on the current wrestling landscape and said the following before probably saying, "Get off my lawn." That's a good joke there, man.
Thank you.
Transcripts from Wrestling Inc. here. Old Phil says, "It's wild. There's a lot of it. There's so much wrestling. So I'm like the old grizzled hitting coach that a new baseball team hires, and I come in like, oh man, these guys don't even know how to swing a bat. What are they doing? You don't need batting gloves and the elbow guard. Come on, let's get back to basics. What are you all doing? I understand it's not for me. It's not my generation. It's a completely different game. There's good and there's bad." Who is he throwing shade at here?
I honestly think he's throwing shade at anybody. I think he's saying he's displaced from the current generation of wrestlers and wrestling as we know it.
Man, just come back and show him how it's done then, Phil. I want to see him wrestle again. I think it'd be great. Here's my thing. I mean, he's sort of making the point here, though. It's like there's a ton of, like, different wrestling things out there. So, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
A wide variety.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, our good friendos over at Cultaholic,
Yeah.
specifically Ross, had dropped a new Straight to Hell this weekend with Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but you told me a little bit about it.
So I didn't watch the entire. I didn't watch it. I heard and read about different clips from it, and man, it was like Festivus for him.
Yeah.
He had what was it? The
Airing of grievances.
yeah. Specifically, hold on a second. Let's see if I can find this one. Specifically, he said that he was tired. Cultaholic. Here we go. There's Cultaholic.
What, the Japanese wrestling bit?
Yeah.
Did he use the word fetishizing or something
Yes,
like that?
he said that current wrestling fans fetishize Japanese wrestling. He says, I've wrestled over there, and I'm looking for this stupid thing because Cultaholic. Is this? That's not.
That's their new logo.
Is that their? They have a new logo?
Yeah.
What the heck? Man, when did that happen?
This morning.
Oh my gosh. How was that not our top story? Cultaholic changed their logo. Wow. Wonder why they did that. Anyways, here's what he had to say. Let's see here. Nope. That's it. What the hell? Oh, that's not the article.
That's not
here.
the one you're looking for. It's
Because
not
they
the
had
article
actually.
you're
Oh,
looking
here
for.
we go. Here we go. I got it. All right, here it is. News brief. There we go. He says, I'm just so over. Oh, here we go. I really want to qualify this point before I make it because I know that the clickbaiters, us, are going to pick this up and turn it into something it's not, but it totally is. But I need the Western wrestling's obsession with Japanese wrestling to just calm down a little bit. I've wrestled in Japan, and I love going to Japan, but I'll be honest with you. I don't love wrestling in Japan because it hurts. It's really physically taxing, and I don't get the same adrenaline rush from it because the audience don't react. It's like I'm killing myself, and it's light clapping. What I mean by this, I understand and respect that they have their own thing, and there are some guys who are phenomenal, and there are some who are some of the best ever, legends. But it works for their culture. It works for that audience. And I'm just so over this snobby sort of misconception that has sort of bled into the overall lexicon of modern wrestling that somehow if it's Japanese, it's better. Like, this is how they do it in Japan. What I'm talking is a sort of almost fetishizing of anything that's Japanese, and somehow that makes it better. The ironic thing is you're working the audience because most of them have never been to Japan. They've never been in a Japanese audience. They're not Japanese. They've just been co-opted to believe, oh, it's Japanese. It must be better. It's better. I better agree or everyone else will think I'm stupid or everyone will think I'm not elevated enough as a wrestling fan. I'm not knowledgeable enough. It's this sort of weird, snobby sort of culture that exists now. Sounds like he has more of a problem with, like, I don't know, the general culture of fandom in general.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I'm sorry they're not putting on 7-minute NWA matches. Nick Aldis. But the wrestling in Japan is really good.
It is good.
It is really good.
I think a lot of fans take it for what it is, which is really good wrestling.
It's really good wrestling.
And don't prescribe the attitude that since it's from Japan that it must be good. It's not like those days back in the early 90s when a band was getting their record released and it was from Seattle, and record labels would put "from Seattle" on the CD cover so people would buy it. I don't think that's the thing. I don't think that's the thing with the rise in popularity of New Japan, for example. People are starting to watch New Japan because they're realizing it's really good stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is.
And here's the thing. It's not as if there. I think that if there was a fetishization, if you will, of Japanese wrestling, you'd see much more prominent. You'd see things like Noah and All Japan really blowing up
Dragon
here
Gate,
too. Dragon Gate, and you don't see that. New Japan is something special. They have a wonderful development program called the Young Lions and their dojo and all that stuff. So I think, I don't know, I think their thing has just been developing really, really good wrestlers in wrestling. They have their excursion process they go through. And I mean, I don't know, man. I think it shows. I know as a fan, like if I turn on a New Japan show, chances are I'm going to get some really spectacular wrestling. So I don't know. Grumpy old man at the age of 33 there, Nick Aldis.
Yeah, no. Let's be grumpy maybe for a second and do our Raw preview. Although we're usually not that grumpy about Raw. We reserve that for SmackDown.
Raw's Raw is, I don't know, it's either my first or second favorite thing these days, depending on what AEW is doing.
AEW's number one in my heart always. First entry here, Riddick Moss to defend the 24/7 title this Monday on Raw. Are they ditching the 24/7 rules for the 24/7 title?
We'll find out tonight on
the
Raw.
Aspect that makes it interesting.
Now, this should be good. I should be excited about this. Shayna Baszler and Asuka.
This ain't going to have a finish. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Collide 6 nights ahead of WWE Elimination Chamber. Nor should it.
It shouldn't have a finish.
It really should.
Becky will be out there. Maybe Natalya. They'll set up Asuka and Kyrie versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix.
Get everybody in that chamber match. Get them all out there for a big scrum.
Huge scrum, exactly. Seth.
That should main event also.
It should. Seth and Murphy put Raw Tag Team titles in line against Street Profits. They're calling this a now or never match, but didn't say what that meant. Is it a situation where if Street Profits don't win, they don't get another shot at Seth and Buddy? It wasn't explained.
Man, something tells me they're going to lose these titles to the Street Profits tonight. That might actually happen.
It might happen. Next, Beth Phoenix to return to Raw with an update on Edge's recovery.
That's going to open the show. She'll get an RKO and maybe a concerto. Although that might be stepping over the line.
Yeah, I think that's stepping over the line.
That's probably stepping over the line.
I'd be surprised if an RKO is not involved, though.
Yeah.
U.S. champ Andrade and Angel Garza versus Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo. AJ versus Alistair. That probably won't have a finish.
Yeah.
And then Brock's going to be there, too.
Cool. Good for him. Awesome. Well, it sounds like it should be a good smash.
Should be a fun show.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Over on the audio podcast version of this show today, we'll have our mailbag segment. So be sure to subscribe to Going In Raw on the audio podcast. Let's try to get this episode of News Brief up to 500 likes today, man.
Sure.
It's Monday, 500. I'm good with that.
Sounds good to me.
Smash that like button.
Please do.
Hit the subscribe button, notify bell, click on all. And tomorrow, for our Raw recap, we're doing it over on Twitch, and then the VOD will land on YouTube right afterwards. But if you want to catch it live, follow us on Twitch at twitch.com/
No, twitch.tv.
Oh, that's right. It's TV. Twitch.tv / Steven Larson. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.